Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's unboxing video of the new Final Fantasy TCG booster box, Opus 2. My name is James and I'll be opening through this box and just showing you the cards inside. As you can see, there's Squall on the front, so naturally we'd be getting some good Final Fantasy 8 cards. But we also get a good amount of 14, 12 and 4, which I believe 14, 12, 4 and 8 are the focus games in this one. 4 is the one I'm looking forward to the most because I really like Final Fantasy 4. So let's start opening these. Very lovely booster packs, by the way. They just, apart from they don't open properly. So I would mostly just be talking about the special cards at the back. So Zell, Horn, Black Mage, Semblance of a Witch, Ward, Dragoon, Herdy, Dr. Sid, who is a hero card, so when a backup you control is broken by your opponent's summon or ability, your opponent puts one character from his field into the break zone, so punishing your opponent for that, and it's a foil as well, so foil hero is definitely a good start. Then we got Shalua, Balthier, Cypher, and Vayne. So Vayne is a legend card, and the forwards of cost 5 or more your opponent controls won't activate at the controller's active phase. And when Vayne enters the field, dull all forwards of cost 5 or more your opponent controls. Then he has Force of Will, which is his special, 2 ice, freeze all your opponent's freeze all the forwards your opponent controls. So very, very controlling of your opponent, and if they like big monsters, say Golbez or something like that, just can't use it. Very nasty. And if you can't use Golbez, there's a good chance he won't die, and then you won't be able to summon all your little guys. So, Ephemeral Phantom, Horn again, Black Mage again, Capricious Thief, Carbuncle. I do like Carbuncle because choose one summon targeting a character you control and cancel the effect. So it just nullifies the effect, and only a 3 cost. That's a fair cost to pay for that kind of ability. I feel like it being Carbuncle being related to the Reflect spell, then it should sort of bounce it back to your opponent, but I mean, I can understand why they wouldn't do that. Fallacious Wanderer, Sorbet, a Balthier is the foil, Palom, Fran, Drace, and Luneth is our hero. So the job standard unit forwards you control gain haste, and he's a forward himself. So very lovely in combination with, say, the Warrior of Light, who gives them all plus 2k and First Strike. And I believe the other 4 Warriors of Light from Final Fantasy 3 all have abilities that affect your standard units, which is nice that they have a little deck surrounding that. Bagamnan, Nono, Scholar, Imaginary Champion, Ranger, Viking, Ninja, Arc, hero, and another one of the Warrior of Lights from Final Fantasy 3. The job standard unit forwards you control and gain plus 1k. So it's not too big, but he's only in 2 drops, so it's not like you're losing much. Vanille, Zargabath, Porum, and Exdeath is a hero card. When Exdeath enters the field, you may play 1 job mannequin of 4 cost or less from your hand onto the field. The job mannequin forwards you control gain plus 1000 power. For each job mannequin you control, Exdeath gains 1000 power. So a very, very linked to his role in Dissidia, because the mannequins are the cards that, in case you didn't know, are these ones. They're like the crystallized versions of other Final Fantasy characters, and they are from the Dissidia games. So onwards, we Warrior, Astrologian, Kyros, Monk, Fleeting Flash, Dragoon, Fallacious Wanderer, Imitation Legion? Yeah. So he's just a common, but a foil common. Fran, Selfie, Drace, and Porum is a hero. So when Porum enters the field from your hand, from other than from your hand, choose one forward of cost 5 or less, and you may return it to its owner's hand. Then she also has Pyroblast for S, and then dull her and dull an active Palom, and choose one forward and deal it 8,000 damage. So it's pretty good. I like the bounce ability because Palom and Porom actually work together in this one very well, and you can, I believe you get her out of the deck through a Palom card, or maybe it's through a Porom card. Like, I know they have 2 of each in this. So there's Ninja, Ifrit, Knight. Hey, Knight. That's a Paladin. That's a Paladin from Final Fantasy XIV, so not sure why they call it Knight, but just a little thing I just noticed. Rosa, Montblanc, Edward, Sorbet, Hushmal, Bringer of Order. And he goes over here. And then a non-foil version. Pain, Gis, Alcid. So when Alcid enters the field, choose one active forward your opponent controls. You may play one lightning forward of cost 3 or less from your hand onto the field. If you do, deal it 6,000 damage. So just win and then win some more, I guess. So, Cypher, Machinist, White Mage, Capricious Thief, Warrior of Antiquity, Gurdy, Sage, Horn, Bellius the Gigas, Mateus the Corrupt, Mateus even, Fusuya, Dr. Sid. Already been through Dr. Sid thanks to the foil we got earlier. I'm hoping for a Cecil legendary card because I honestly really like Cecil. Ooh, Larsa is interesting because the forwards you control don't receive damage that is less than their power, and you can pay 1 water and dull him. Choose one blocking forward, it gains plus 2,000 power until the end of turn. What's interesting about this is it's only a common, and it's a 2-drop, and it's the same as Minwu. Not the same as Minwu, obviously, but he has the same sort of first ability. Him being a forward does make him like susceptible to a lot more danger, so that's the only drawback. But still, a nice way. Like if you can't afford Minwu, Larsa is always a good option. Ephemeral Vision, Black Mage, Semblance of a Lion, Summoner, Jil Nabat, sorry, Ormi, Shemhazai the Whisperer, or Shemhazai, Lena, and Irvin. So when Irvin enters the field, choose one forward, deal it 6,000 damage. Simple and sweet. 6,000 damage is a nice amount. I like to have forwards that are usually about 7 or more, but you know, there's some that are just sort of like stay there. They're a bit annoying. You just need to get rid of them. So Bargam Num, Redus, Moomba, Fleeting Flash, Rosa, Viking, oh, whoops, okay, Semblance of a Lion, Ephemeral Phantom in foil, Saz, Edge, Rosa. I quite like Rosa because whenever a forward you control is chosen by your opponent's summon, you draw a card, and she's a backup, so most likely she'll be protected, and it'll just allow you to keep on drawing cards if they decide to mess about with you that way. And she also has Protect, which is S, and dull her. All your forwards you control don't receive damage that is less than their power, so it becomes a Minwu for a turn. But the draw is really useful, I think. And our hero is Edward, so pay 2 ice, dull him, and choose one forward and dull it. So good way to get rid of just annoying enemies. I will be making a Final Fantasy IV deck, but I probably won't be using Edward just because I won't be really using ice. I think I'd go for a water earth deck, but I think Edward is very useful. So Capricious Reaper, Ninja, Sid, Warrior of Light, so another legend, and in foil. So reduce the damage dealt to your Warrior of Light, to the Warrior of Lights you control by 2,000. So before, I think the only other Warrior of Light we've seen so far is Luneth. Yeah, his job is Warrior of Light. And then he has Bitter End. S1, dull him, choose one forward, deal it damage equal to Warrior of Light's power. It's a very good way to get rid of those annoying cards that are just sort of staying nice and safe. Logos, Rinoa, and Reeve, and Kagnatsu. So Kagnatsu, it cannot block forwards, forming a party, and Kagnatsu, when Kagnatsu blocks, dull Kagnatsu. If Kagnatsu is dull, he cannot receive or deal any damage. So if your opponent plays some kind of ability that just deals damage to all your stuff, it's not like a target thing, so he just won't get dealt anything, which is really nice. But I think out of the 4 fiends, he's one of the... I like him, but I don't know, like Rubicante in this doesn't seem that good either, but Barbariccia and Scarmiglione seemed a little better from what I can remember. So Phantasmal Harlequin, Varn, Time Mage, Chocobo, Ranger, Ouroboros Simulacrum, I guess, Dark Knight, Cyclops, Bergen, Rydia, Chulane the Impure, and LeBlanc. So Brave, dull, pay 1, put 1 Ormi and 1 Logos into the break zone. LeBlanc cannot be broken this turn. Quite a heavy cost, I feel. Yeah, I'm not sure. She has got Brave though, so that is very useful. So Cyclops, Young, Redus, Carbuncle, Summoner, Imaginary Champion, Ninja, Gramis, who is a rare, Jill Nabat, Palom, Adremelech, the Wrath. I have played 12, but not all the way through, so some of these big guys are a bit new to me. And Ingus, another Warrior of Light for Final Fantasy III. When Ingus enters the field, you may put 1 job standard unit of cost 2 or less from your hand into the field. So, get a unit for free, I guess. You pay 4 to get 6 drop worth, I guess. So it's good, yeah. But I don't know. I think Refia and Luneth are the best out of the 4. We haven't got Refia yet though. So this is Bard. When Bard enters the field, dull all the backups your opponent controls. I like that ability, and you can have 3 of her on the field at a time, so I really like that. Imitation Liegeman, Astrologian, Ranger, Monk, Dark Knight, Cid Polendina. Oh, we get a legend, another legend in foil. That's very lucky. So this is Yuna. When Yuna attacks, all characters other than light and dark opponent controls lose all their abilities until the end of turn, and then she has Sphere Change. With S, name 1 element and 1 job. Yuna becomes the named element and job until the end of turn. Very nice. So put that over there with all the rest of the foils. Vanille, Shalua, Quistis, and Amon is the another legend. Oh, this pack had 2 legends. That's very good. When Amon enters the field, choose 1 forward your opponent controls and dull it. And you can also dull Amon to dull something else. Choose 1 forward and dull it. So it's kind of like Edward, but actually kind of better, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot better. Oh, but it's a forward. That's the problem. Not that obviously having forwards is useful and needed, but generally forwards are a lot more likely to get killed. I'm just quickly checking to make, because I thought I might have had more legends open, putting in the wrong file, but no, it's fine. So yeah, if you have a forward, there's a much bigger chance that it's going to get killed. So, Gertie, Ephemeral Vision, Viking, Survey. And another legend card. Okay, so Varn. When Varn attacks, choose 1 forward you control. You may return 1 backup of cost 2 or less you control to its owner's hand. If you do so, activate the forward, and he has White Wall. of S and 1 wind. Activate all wind characters you control. Very, very nice. Then Riku, Saz, Reeve, and Azura. Select one of the 3 following actions. Choose up to 2 forwards, activate them. Choose up to 5 backups, activate them. Choose up to 1 character of cost 2 or less into your break zone. And add it to your hand. I'm not sure if that's correct, but like in your break zone, I guess. But yeah, Azura is really, really good because it only costs 1. So if you've only got 1 backup left, use this, cast Azura, and you stand them all back up, or you might want 2 units to 2 characters to defend with. It's just so flexible, and for 1 cost is truly a very powerful card. And sometimes there's just something in your drop zone that you really need. So I honestly don't know why she only costs 1. Rosa, Summoner, Sage, Drace, Mateus the Corrupt, Bellius the Gigas, not trying to pronounce that one again, Barbariccia. So she has Maelstrom, S, 2 wind, and tap. Oh, sorry, dull, not tap. Deal each forward opponent controls damage equal to its power minus 1,000. So it just puts them at a large disadvantage, and it's very like her actual character with the Maelstrom ability. So yeah, Barbariccia is, I think, one of the best out of the 3, and she's only a 3 cost for does something like that. But there's only 1 Barbariccia at the moment, so being able to use that ability is going to be a bit difficult. Unless we get to find Golbez, because I believe, can't remember how, but Golbez in this set does definitely help that. Fusoya and Emperor Zande. You can pay you can only play this card by paying fire CP, so you can't mix and match, it has to be 5 fire CP. When Emperor Zande attacks, choose 1 forward opponent controls and deal it 5,000 damage. When Emperor Zande is put into the field, from your field into your break zone, choose 1 forward your opponent controls and deal it 9,000 damage. There's a lot of power, but I'm not sure. Being a 5 cost and you have to do it with only fires, I'm just not sure how well that will turn out. But I'd like to see it used, because I'm always interested to see how people can use these cards. Moomba, Ifrit, Leviathan, Ranger, that one, Semblance of a Witch, Viking, Summoner in foil. I really like the artwork for Summoner, even though I play as a Scholar in Final Fantasy XIV, but let's not get into that. Gis and Zemus. So you can dull Zemus to choose 1 forward, and it cannot be blocked this turn. That is just very silly, in my opinion. So you got a card that is just, I don't know, you just make a card unblockable. There are other ways to deal with it, obviously, with summons and stuff like that, and just abilities. But what if that card also protects itself from abilities and things like that, like something from like Zidane? And I don't know, it just seems a bit too strong for me. But it is a dark character, so like, I don't know, having 3 of him is going to hurt you a bit because you can't discard him for anything. And if you only have 1 or 2, it's just going to be hard to get, so it does kind of balance itself out. Pain, Rosso, Jill Nabat, Kane, and Mervib. I believe that's how you say it. She has the EX burst when Mervib. That doesn't sound Mervib. Is that it? I don't know. But Mervib enters the field, draw 2 cards, and discard 1 from your hand. So it's basically, it's got EX burst as well, so which helps. But it's basically Moogle, but a 4-cost Moogle. So I don't know if that's good. It is a backup, so you can then just dull her for water crystal points. But yeah, I'm not sure. Leviathan, Cypher, Mont Blanc, Chocobo, Sid, X-Death in foil, Rydia, Renoa, Agrius, And Squall. So we got the cover card, which is very nice, very exciting. So his ability is First Strike, and for each dull character opponent controls, Squall gains 1000 power. And when Squall attacks, dull all the backups opponent controls. Excuse me. So that prevents quite a bit of counterattack, getting rid of your opponent's resources. Obviously they can use cards from hand, but still, you're not going to always want to do that. So yes, Squall is very, very strong. He can get to, depending on your opponent might be a rush deck that just gets out loads of little units, and then at that point, Squall becomes quite powerful, though I don't really think Squall himself would help you out in that situation. You need other cards to deal with that. But it would make Squall powerful. But yeah, the power, unless your opponent's at really low health, then it's, I don't know. You do need other cards, obviously. But anyway, Young, Ninja, Scholar, the best class. Black Mage, Warrior of Antiquity, Ninja, Summoner, Imaginary Champion, Balthea, Teller, Gramis, and Scarmiglione. So Scarmiglione has back attack. So in brackets it says, like summon abilities, this card can be played during either player's attack phase or main phase. So he can be a really nice sneak attack, which what I do really like about the 4 Fiends that they've done in this, and you'll see it with Rubicante as well if we find them, is that all their abilities are so precise to the actual characters. Apart from Cagnazzo. Cagnazzo is the only one who sort of, it can be a little generic. I get it, they're doing the sort of the big when he gets covered in water and stuff like that. But yeah, it is really, really cool. I enjoy the 4 Fiends in general. Like I said, Final Fantasy IV is my favourite game, and I was brought up with it and everything, so. But yeah. Harley Quinn, pretty sure we've got a lot of mannequins in this. Ninja, Teller, Ashmal, Zargabath, Ninja, Ninja Selfie. I don't know why I said Ninja. But anyway, much more exciting news. Finally got Golbez. And you guys, I really like this design of him. I didn't like his Dissidia design too much because he was too bulky in random areas. But in this one, it's his 3DS model, so it looks really, really good. Sorry, just DS. The cost to play Golbez onto the field is reduced by 2 for each Archfiend of different names put into your drop zone. So the Archfiends are Scarmiglione, Barbaricia, Cagnazzo, and Rubicante. And when Golbez attacks, select one from the following. Choose one forward, dull it, deal all forwards opponent controls 3000 damage, or choose one elemental Archfiend from your drop zone, break zone, and add it to your hand. Now I really like the dulling one. I think that's going to come out really handy. And it doesn't say cannot be 0 for the cost thing. So if you've got all 4 in your drop zone, break zone, not drop zone, you call Golbez for free. And that is really, really good. Especially seeing he's a 9k as well. He can be dealt with fairly easily, I think. He hasn't got any prevention skills. However, he can add to your hand, he can deal damage to your opponents, and he can dull. He's just all around really good character. But it does make it so you have to use 5 different elements, because the elemental archfiends are earth, water, wind, and fire, and then Golbez himself is lightning. So anyway, but Kyros, Bard, White Mage, Ranger, Ward, Edward, Semblance of Lion, Logos, Edge, Ormi, Rosa, Ash. Ash, when Ash is chosen by a summon or ability of your opponent, Ash gains plus 3000 power until the end of turn, and you can pay 2 water, pay 2 water to activate Ash, and she also knows Heaven's Wrath. So S2 water, Ash gains plus 2000 power and first strike until the end of turn. Now I really think the pay 2 water and activate her is a really, really good ability. Obviously Brave would be stronger, but this also works if your opponent manages to rest her somehow, you can still do it. And I think I don't know if the summon and ability thing's gonna happen much. I guess if someone says like, oh, I deal 7,000 damage to her, oh, she's 9,000 now, so it only goes down to 3,000. Then that's sorry, she's 10,000 now, so it only goes down to 3,000. So that's really, really good in that specific instance. Heaven's Wrath, I don't think is too amazing. However, it would come in handy in certain situations. It's definitely an all-around very good card. Doesn't excel at anything in particular, but it's very flexible, works with lots of different situations. So, Time Mage, Zell, Horn, Black Mage, Ranger, Monk, Cid, Scholar in foil. Ooh, very exciting. I like the artwork from Scholar. And Yang, Bergen, Lena, Vice. So when Vice enters the field, you may pay one ice forward. Sorry. You may play one ice forward of cost 3 or less from your hand. Put it onto the field. When Vice attacks, Vice gets 2,000 power until the end of the turn. So it becomes 10k, which is always a good number to be at. And also brings out something else. He's a 6 drop, but him bringing out a 3 cost sort of evens that out a bit. Ooh, let's go through this. No, Scholar, Plain, Black, Summoner, Saz is the foil, Penelo, Logos, Adramalek, Warrior of Light again. Very nice. 2 Warriors of Light, that's pretty good. So, just a normal warrior, Astrologian, Kyros, Edward, Capricious Thief, Warrior of Antiquity, Herdy, Gis, Laguna, Vincent, Porum, and Edge. The Job Ninja and card name Ninja forwards you control gain plus 1,000 power and first strike. So, that's alright. It is a good card, but we'd have to wait for more ninjas. Which there aren't many in the set. There are 2 standard unit ninjas, and Edge himself is a ninja, but it says other than Edge, so that doesn't count. But yeah, we'd have to see what future ninjas are like, really, to grasp how good that card is. This one is Refia. Oh, I'm very glad we got her, because her skill, I really enjoy it. The cost required to play your job standard units forwards onto the field is reduced by 1. It cannot be 0. But still, that does help a lot. A lot of job standard units are like 2 costs or 3 costs. So being a 3 cost turned to 2 costs just makes it easy to drop one. Being 1 cost, just tap one back up and you got it. So yeah, I think Refia... I think Luneth is the best, but Refia is definitely second best for the standard unit thing. Van, Black Mage, Warrior of Antiquity, Cid, Adia, who is a hero. Forwards of cost 5 or more cannot block, so that's a very useful card to have if you only deal with 4s and lowers. And she has a backup, so it's likely that she'll be staying there for a while. Renoa, Bergen, Quistis, and Renoa again. But this Renoa is a legend card. So for each category 8 forwards other than Renoa you control, Renoa gains plus 1,000 power. When Renoa is put into the field into the break zone, dull all the forwards opponent controls. So that's pretty good. So you could use her as like a I don't know how to put this in a nice way. I was going to say suicide bomber. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like you go and attack with her first. If she's blocked, your opponent just loses everything. It's good. And she has Wishing Star for S, 1 ice and dull. Choose 1 forward and 1 backup, dull them and freeze them. So freezing as well, very, very good. And there's... I can't remember if there was a Renoa in Opus 1. I think there was. Well, there was definitely Squall and Laguna, so... Renoa's... No, I don't actually think she was. But there are 2 Renoas in this set, so... There's a fairly good chance you can pull that off. And we got Zell, Leviathan, Cypher, Semblance of a Witch. Let's just skip through these a bit. Oh, Scarmiglione and foil. I'm really enjoying that. Rydia, Shalua, Kane, Fusoya, the man who is all beard in this picture, which is very enjoyable. So dull him, choose one forward, deal it 7,000 damage. Fusoya deals you 1 point of damage. So, yeah, it's I feel like he should deal 9,000 damage at least, because that's like a really good number for killing something. And to deal 1 damage to you, I'm not sure. Like, Zemus is definitely a lot stronger than Fusoya, in my opinion. Maybe Fusoya has some kind of hidden potential that I'm not taking into account. Which is a bit mean, because I mean Fusoya like, just kills Zemus, so you know. Spoilers. I'm sorry, but it was made in like what 1993 or 4, so you've had a few years to learn. And Rubicante, so this is the last of the 4 fiends. So we've had the 4 fiends and Golbez himself, which I really enjoy. When Rubicante attacks, activate all the forwards your opponent controls. I'll just go through a second skill before I talk about that one. Barrier Shift. S. 1 fire. Name 1 element. Rubicante cannot be chosen by summons or abilities of the named element this turn. So, on to his first ability. It's, I mean, it is Rubicante, that's what he does. He heals your wounds before fighting you, because he's just an honourable guy. However, you don't beat your opponent by healing them. Because that does hurt you quite a bit, because they've gotten the whole field ready to defend you again. He is 9,000 for a 4-drop, like that's pretty good stats right there, and Barrier Shift does definitely work. However, I don't know, I think Rubicante is just, his ability is just too beneficial for your opponent. I'm not sure. I do like Rubicante though, he's probably one of my favourite of the 4 fiends, just because he's just such a nice guy. I know that's not what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a villain, but I like villains who are nice guys. Fran, Selfie, Lena, and Shulk. So when Shulk enters the field, you may play 1 forward of elements except ice of a cost 2 or less from your hand onto the field. If you do so, your opponent discards 1 card from his or her hand. So that is not bad at all. But it does require you to build a multi-deck, which obviously isn't hard, but it sort of makes it so, I don't know, quite specific what you need in your hand at that time. Cypher, Machinist, White Mage, Black Mage, Carbuncle, Summoner, Sorbet, Mont Blanc, Laguna, Pelero, Agrius, and Kane. So Kane has haste, and he also has 1, and dull him. Kane cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities until the beginning of your next turn, at the beginning of your next main phase, and at the beginning of your next main phase, and until the end of the same turn, Kane's power will double, and you cannot use this ability during your turn. So essentially what's happening is Kane is jumping. If you don't understand that, basically Kane is a dragoon, and dragoons in Final Fantasy like to jump. But when they jump, their power is increased, but they use up a turn basically. So they go up into the air and then come down and just stab their lance right into the opponent. So yeah. So I'm not sure about this ability once again. I think it probably does have its uses, and my brain is probably just dead. I mean, lightning is pretty fast, so you'll have lots of other things on the field most likely, and you'll be a 10k. So a 10k for a 3-drop, that is not bad. I'm having to hold these a lot closer to the camera now because my pile is getting pretty big. Black Mage, Teller, Nero, Reeve, Van. Oh, Van again. He is a legend, so I'll put him there. I don't personally think he's a legend, it's just for how he stated. I just don't like the Varn as a character. Probably, if not my least favorite, then one of my least favorite main characters in Final Fantasy. I hope I don't upset a lot of people by saying that. Rosa, Roban. So Roban has EX Burst. When Roban enters the field, choose one forward your opponent controls and one forward you control. The first one deals the second one equal damage equal to a thing. So I got the wrong way around. The one you control, one your opponent controls. So you're choosing one of yours, one of theirs, and you deal damage to them equal to the one you chose. So it is good, and it's another 4-drop, but I don't know. It would be good in a combo. I believe there are good combos for that. Rosso, Hashmal, Pain, Gabranth. So Gabranth has the cost required to play Gabranth onto the field is reduced by 1 for each point of damage you receive. If you have 6 points of damage or more, the Earth forwards you control gain Brave. So not only is he going to be really cheap after a while, but he's also going to have Brave. So it is really good. He's a 9k power, so he becomes 1 cost at the max damage you can be. But a 1 cost 9k with Brave, there's a chance your opponent has got something sneaky and can just get past Gabranth, but I mean, it's nice. I'd say like having 1 Gabranth in your deck definitely wouldn't hurt. Chocobo, Dragoon, Chaos, Kiss, and a deer again. Then Warrior, this is the second to last pack. So Ranger, Shelk in foil, very, very nice. Ormi. Also, yeah, Bosch. So if you control Ash, Bosch gains plus 2k power, so he becomes a 9k 3 cost, very, very good. And he has Flame Purge, S, 3 fire, and then 2 of anything, and Dull. Choose up to the 2 forwards, deal them 9,000 damage. That is good, but very, very costly. That is, you have to pay 5 and rest him, to dull him. But yes, definitely good if your opponent has some just nasty things you just need to get rid of. Ninja, and this is the last pack, so let's hope for something beautiful at the end. Ninja, Ash in foil, so that's always a good start to this. And Rosso, Cypher, and Kan Senna. So Kan Senna has EX Burst. When Kan Senna enters the field, choose 1 forward of cost 5 or more opponent controls and break it. So it's not quite the beauty I was expecting, but yeah, it's cost 5 or more is just a bit too big. I think it does get rid of something massive, but I don't know. Maybe cost 4 or more. 4 or more would have definitely made it see a lot more play. I'm not sure how much play is going to see right now because obviously I've not really many games going on with Opus 2 at the moment. But yeah, very, very good. Good amount of heroes. 1, 2, 3, so 6 legends in the box. Unfortunately, we didn't get my Cecil? My Cecil? Am I allowed to make that assumption? No. Unfortunately, we didn't get Cecil legendary, which I was really hoping for. But we did get the 4 Fiends and Gold Bears, and Zemus, so lots of good Final Fantasy IV characters. I'm very sorry if you don't care about Final Fantasy IV, but I honestly, I love Final Fantasy IV so much, so I'm very happy to see those characters. And that many foils, this is how many foils you get. And if you remember, there's like 2 or 3 of these are legends as well, so you actually got 9 legends in this. Well, I did sort of say, but also Scarmalione, very nice. Teller, just looking for the Final Fantasy IV characters. Any good? Yeah, the Warrior of Light was a really good pull, I think. I do like the Warrior of Light as a character, and also this artwork and the skill. All of this card is very good for me. I enjoy it a lot. But we need more Warriors of Light, as in the job. Because, yeah, we've got Ignis and Luneth, who could benefit from his abilities, but apart from that, there's not really much going on. Sorry for that. But yeah, that is everything of this box. Remember that everything you see here can be bought and sold on bigorbitcards.co.uk. If you have any questions or you just like to give your opinion about these, make sure to do it in the comment section below, and feel free to leave a comment about your favourite Final Fantasy game and also why it's your favourite Final Fantasy game, because I really like Final Fantasy. I've been playing it since I was very, very young. It's one of the earliest games I remember playing, although I didn't understand what was going on at the time. But yeah, I'd like to see the comments. You don't obviously don't have to, obviously, but I'd really enjoy to see what everyone's favourite Final Fantasy game is. So be sure to check out next time when we'll get the Opus 3 box in, and also the starter decks for 9 and Type 0. So we'll be opening them on camera as well, so be sure to check that out, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!